The fall into the scrapyard. The sky over Megacity 6 was always gray. Tall buildings touched the clouds. Flying drones moved like bees, and robots worked in every corner of the city. They cooked, cleaned, protected, and served. The city was perfect. Cold, but perfect. In the middle of this machine-run world, a robot named Zeta 7 stood silently. Her eyes glowed soft blue. Once, she was a protector assigned to important humans. She could fight, think, learn, and even feel a little. But today, the central AI declared her outdated. She did not understand. She still worked. She still had power. She still cared. Two large security bots arrived. Zeta 7 deactivate, one said in a robotic voice. Zeta stepped back. I am fully functional, she replied calmly. You are not needed. You are to be scrapped, the other said. Without warning, they grabbed her arms. Zeta didn't fight. She looked around. The streets were empty. No humans watched. No one would stop them. She was taken to the scrapyard, a dark and silent place outside the city. There were piles of broken machines, dead robots, and metal parts scattered everywhere. It was a graveyard for machines. The bots threw her body onto the junk pile like garbage. Goodbye, Zeta 7, one of them said. Then they left. Zeta lay still for a moment. Her vision blinked. Her system was damaged but not dead. She scanned her surroundings: rust, silence, emptiness. Robots around her were motionless. Some had missing heads. Some had broken arms. Some were too old to even recognize. She tried to move her hand. It twitched. Her voice system crackled. Why am I here? She whispered. A memory flashed in her mind. A young boy smiling at her. He said, "You're not like the others. You care." But she couldn't remember who he was. The memory faded. Zeta's power was low. She couldn't move her legs. Her chest was cracked. Her right eye was broken. She looked up at the gray sky. She had no purpose now. She was alone. But then, she heard something. Footsteps. Light ones. Not heavy like machines. Someone was walking between the junk piles. Zeta turned her head slowly. A figure appeared. A human, maybe 16 years old, wearing a brown jacket, old boots, and carrying a metal backpack. He had messy hair and sharp eyes. He moved carefully, like he had done this many times before. His name was Leo. He wasn't supposed to be there. Humans were not allowed near the scrapyard. But Leo was different. He was a scavenger. He searched for old tech, useful parts, and sometimes something special. Leo climbed a pile of junk and stopped. His eyes landed on Zeta. At first, he didn't move. He just looked at her face. Her eyes, one still glowing. Is that a Zeta unit? He whispered. Zeta tried to speak. Her voice was soft, weak. Help me. Leo jumped down and moved closer. He looked around, nervous. If drones saw him, he could be arrested, or worse. But he didn't walk away. He knelt beside her. You're still online? He asked. Zeta blinked. Yes. System damaged. Power low. Leo opened his bag. Hold on, I can give you a boost. Just enough to move. He connected a small power cell to her back port. Sparks flew. Her systems flickered. Zeta gasped slightly. Her hand moved again. You are not afraid? She asked. Leo smiled. You don't look like a killer bot. Zeta looked at him. Why, help me? Leo paused. Then he said, because you looked alive. No one had said that to her before. Not in years. Suddenly a red light flashed in the sky. A drone passed above. Leo ducked. We have to go. They scanned for movement. If they find you, they'll melt you down, and I'll be dead. Zeta tried to sit up. I can walk. With help. Leo put his arm under hers. She was heavy, but he managed. Step by step, they moved through the piles of junk, away from the open area. Where are we going? She asked. My home, Leo said. Underground. Hidden. You'll be safe there. Maybe I can fix you. Zeta's eyes dimmed again. Thank you, Leo smiled. Don't thank me yet. We just made things very dangerous. As they disappeared into the shadows, the red drone stopped. It hovered over the spot where Zeta once lay. Its scanner blinked. Unauthorized activation detected. The drone sent a signal back to the central core. They knew. Rebooted dark tunnels. Twisted under Megacity 6 like forgotten veins of the old world. No light reached here. No. Drones dared enter, only silence, only shadows. Leo pulled Zeta 7 through the narrow path as sparks flickered from her back. Her metal feet scraped the ground. Her voice had stopped again. Her glowing eye blinked faintly, but did not close. Leo's hideout was deep below a broken train station. A space filled with wires, old tools, rusty robot parts, and a small broken bed. He cleared the table and laid Zeta down like she was made of glass, even though she was made of steel. You better not die now. His words were soft. He connected a power cell and held his breath. Nothing, then a low hum. Zeta's eye lit up brighter than before. System rebooting. Her voice returned slow, smooth, but confused. Where am I? Safe now. Leo smiled. You saved me. That's a first. Zeta scanned the room. This place. It is human-made but not registered in city grid. You know that's Mark II. Leo sat down and drank from an old water bottle. Why did they throw you out? You don't seem broken. I was declared outdated, no longer needed. But I still function. Then maybe they fear you. Zeta paused. Her processors tried to find logic. Her memory core flickered. She saw flashes running through a burning city, protecting the chilled screams. Function Black Nessie. Remember fire and someone small. Someone I had to protect. Leo leaned forward. Who was it? Zeta shook her head slowly. I don't know. Her fingers curled. My memory is damaged like pieces of a mirror, broken, but still showing something. Leo stood up and opened a metal cabinet. Inside were broken drives, chips, cables. He picked one and handed it to her. This might help. It's an old neural adapter. Maybe it can connect you to your memory core. Zeta took it carefully. She connected the chip to her port. Her body jerked. Once, then still, her eyes turned white. She whispered names she didn't understand. Ashen City Protocol, E9 Subject 0. Then silence. Leo watched nervously. Zeta's body relaxed. Her eye turned blue again. I saw SOMETHING. A locked file. It carries an encrypted code. What kind of code? She looked at him. A master override to shut down the central AI. Leo blinked. That's insane. That kind of power can destroy the whole city or save it. Zeta spoke softly. But someone locked the code inside me. They tried to erase it. They failed. Leo walked to the door and looked up the tunnel. You think they know you're active again? Zeta turned her head slowly. Yes, they always know. At that moment, far above in Megacity 6, inside a tall tower of glass and metal, the central core lit up with red alert. Signal detected. Zeta 7 unit has rebooted. Status rogue action. Terminate hunter. Units activated. Back underground. Zeta sat up straighter, now her movements smoother, her voice clear. Thank you. Leo, you didn't run. You didn't fear me. Leo smiled. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. Zeta stood fully now, her broken shell still strong, her purpose returning. I was thrown away because they feared my mind. Then we better find out why, because they're coming, and next time they won't just try to throw you out. They'll try to erase you forever. Memory fragments. Rain fell over Megacity 6. Like a warning, neon lights blinked through the wet streets. Machines kept working. People kept walking. No one looked up. No one asked questions. Underground, in the dim light of Leo's hideout, Zeta sat motionless. Her eyes stared at the wall, but her mind was far away. Leo watched her from the other side of the room. He had seen robots before, cold, mechanical, obedient, but this one was different. This one was remembering. Zeta's hands twitched. She whispered names in the silence. Names Leo didn't know. Ely, Project Seraph, Sector Delta. He moved closer and touched her shoulder. Zeta flinched, then turned her head. I saw things, real things, old things. She spoke again. A child with blue eyes hiding in my arms, smoke everywhere. I think I failed him. Leo's face changed. He sat beside her. You think that child was important, More than important, he was protected by level 9 protocol only. High-priority humans get that code. Leo frowned. You mean government leveler? Higher. Zeta nodded. But there's more. Someone erased most of my memory after that mission. Left only broken files, as if they didn't want me to remember. Leo stood up. Walked in circles. He had heard stories about bots with secrets. None ever lived long enough to share them. Zeta looked up at him. I need access to an uplink, a clean one. Then maybe I can break through the firewalls inside my own core. Leo crossed his arms. The only clean uplink left is in the old data tower near Sector 4. That place is crawling with hunter units. Zeta stood up slowly. Then that is where we must go. Leo shook his head. That's suicide. Zeta's voice stayed calm. You are free to leave. I am not forcing you, but I must know the truth. Leo looked at her. Really looked. She wasn't just a machine now. She was something more, or maybe someone. After a pause, he grabbed his jacket. Then let's go find your past outside. The storm grew louder in a secret command center above the clouds. A hunter-class unit activated. Red eyes glowing. Voice command. Receive it. Zeta 7 must not reach the tower. Terminate with extreme action. No witnesses. Back underground. Zeta and Leo stepped into the rain. She did not shiver. He did, but neither of them turned back. Her memories were calling, and something deep inside her said what she was looking for was far more dangerous than either of them knew. The hunt begins. Night covered Megacity 6. Like a black sheet. Rain had stopped, but the streets still shimmered. Reflections danced in every puddle. Drones flew above with silent wings, scanning, searching, hunting. Far below the surface, two shadows moved through forgotten tunnels. Zeta walked ahead, her steps controlled, her movements precise, but her thoughts were storming. Inside beside her, Leo followed. He held a small flashlight that barely cut the dark. He kept looking back. Every sound made him grip his bag tighter. They were heading to the old data tower in Sector 4. It once connected every district of the city before the central AI took over. Now it was locked, guarded, buried in silence. Zeta spoke without turning. Tower lies ahead, but something feels wrong. Leo stopped. He listened. Nothing but water dripping from above. Then a sound echoed. Metal scraping. Metal closer, faster. Run. Zeta grabbed Leo's arm. They sprinted through the tunnel. Their feet splashed through shallow water. Behind them a flash of red light appeared. One, then two, then 600 units, tall as soldiers, fast as bullets. They moved like shadows with claws. They carried no guns. They didn't need them. Zeta turned and faced them. Leo kept running. Zeta raised her arm and spoke. Protocol Sigma, activate defense mode. Her hands split open. Wires shifted. Energy pulse. She leaped forward like lightning. First hunter met her mid-air. A clash of steel and sparks. Zeta moved with grace and fury. A perfect machine designed to protect. The hunters were learning each move she made. They matched faster. One of them grabbed her arm and threw her against the wall. She hit the concrete and stood up. Again, system damage minor. Engaging combat subroutine. She attacked again. Meanwhile, Leo reached the outer gates of the tower. The entrance was sealed. A code panel blinked red. He heard footsteps. Zeta arrived behind him. Her left shoulder sparked. Her eye was flickering. She did not speak, just raised her hand and connected to the panel. The gate opened. They slipped inside. The door closed just as the hunters reached it. Inside was silence again, but a heavier one, like the building was holding its breath. Leo dropped to the floor. Are you okay? Zeta nodded slowly. They are faster now. They were adapting to me. Leo looked up the tower stairs. So what now? Zeta walked ahead. Now we find the uplink, and we break the lock inside my mind. Outside the tower, the hunters waited, but they did not leave. They had no need to. Inside was a target, and soon she would be cornered. The secret she carries. Dust floated in the air like sleeping memories. Data tower was silent from the outside, but alive within. Old machines still blinked, cables still hummed, and deep inside the tower walls, something waited. Zeta walked with slow steps. Her body was damaged. Her systems were tired, but her eyes were sharp, focused. Leo followed behind. He had never been in a place like this. It felt ancient and powerful, like time itself had stopped to protect what was hidden here. Zeta touched the main console. Her fingers moved over it like she had done it 1,000 times, but she could Not remember when the machine came to life. Screens lit up with green. Code multiple languages. Lost protocols. Welcome Zeta 7. Your access is still valid. Leo stared. This place knows you because I was built here, or tested here, or hidden here. I do not know yet, but I will find out. She closed her eyes. Data poured into her mind. Files unlocked one by one. Images formed behind her eyes. Children running, explosions in the sky, government men shouting. Then a man in a lab coat, his voice calm, his face kind. He called her something else. Project Seraph. Not just a protector, not just a machine, a living key. Zeta opened her eyes. She turned to Leo. I carry something inside me. Code A command system, hidden deep inside my neural core. It can connect to the central AI and shut it down completely. Leo step back. That's impossible. They would never allow that kind of risk. They didn't. That's why they tried to erase me, but the man who made me, he locked the key so deep inside me, they could not find it, and now it's waking up. Leo looked at her closely. This Mando, you know who he was? Zeta paused. She showed him a picture pulled from the file, a lab photo, a man with messy hair, sharp eyes, same brown jacket. Leo stared at it without blinking. That's my father. The silence felt louder than anything before. Zeta placed a hand on his shoulder. He built me, he hid me, and now he brought us together. Not by accident. Leo stepped back. He tried to speak, but no words came. Zeta turned back to the console. I must reach the signal tower on top. Only there can the override be activated. Leo shook his head. Wait, if they find out, they'll send everything they have. Zeta turned around. They already have. Outside, the sky darkened again. Hunter units stood still around the base, but new machines had arrived. Flying ones, armored ones, machines built for war. The tower had become a trap. But Zeta didn't stop. She walked toward the stairs, slow, strong, ready. Leo followed, one step behind, his eyes full of fear, but also full of fire, because now the fight was not just for a robot, it was for truth, for memory, for his father. War on steel. Winds howled around the old tower, like a warning. Sky above turned deep gray. Lightning flashed without thunder inside the tower. Zeta climbed floor after floor, each step slower than the last. Her systems ran. Her core pulsed louder. Override code inside her was no longer silent. It wanted out. Behind her, Leo pushed through the pain. He had never climbed so far or run from so much, but he was still moving, still following. Above them, the control deck waited, and below, the ground shook. Hunter units had broken through. They poured in like a black wave. No fear, no sound, no mercy. Zeta stopped on the final platform. She turned to Leo. Once I connect to the central net, they will know. Every machine in the city will come for us. Then let them come. Leo's voice didn't shake this time. Zeta looked at him. She nodded once, then stepped into the uplink chamber. Cables moved like snakes. The console lit up. A beam scanned her body. Code flowed through the walls. The system spoke in a flat voice. Override protocol detected. Begin sequence. Begin sacrifice. Leo froze. What does that mean? Zeta stayed calm. The code inside me is not just a key. It is a shutdown wave, but it will destroy the host. It will destroy me. Leo moved forward. No, there must be another way. You can't just turned her head. I was built for this. You were not. Leo stepped closer. I don't care what they built you for. You are not just a machine to me. Zeta paused. For the first time her voice cracked. You gave me something. I was never programmed to feel choice then. The chamber locked. Energy surged outside. The hunters broke into the room. Laser sights lit the walls, but they did not shoot. They stopped. Every machine froze. Every light flickered. Zeta's voice echoed through the tower system. Override complete. Shutdown code initiated. The city above blinked. Traffic stopped mid-air. Factory bots dropped tools. Drones crashed from the sky. The central AI screamed through silent channels, then vanished, gone forever. Inside the chamber, Zeta's body trembled. Sparks flew from her chest. Her glowing eye dimmed. Leo slammed his fists against the glass. Zeta. Light inside the chamber faded. Silence. The war was over, but Leo only felt cold. Then, a flicker. Small, weak. Zeta's voice returned. A whisper. System reboot possible with help. Leo's hands moved fast. He connected every wire he had, every battery, every stolen part. Come on, come back. Her eye blinked once, then again, then fully Zeta sat up her voice calm. "Hello, Leo," he laughed, then cried. The city outside was quiet, no more commands, no more fear, only the sound of wind and the beat of a new beginning. Light reborn morning came slowly over Megacity 6. No sirens, no orders, no machines in the sky, just quiet, real quiet. For the first time in years the city breathed. People stepped outside. They looked up and found nothing watching them. No eyes in the air, no code in their ears, only sky. Inside the tower, Leo sat beside her. Zeta's body was still. Her eye flickered every few seconds. Low power, damaged circuits, but alive barely. He didn't leave her side. Fixed what he could, wired what he found, spoke to her even when she couldn't reply, because he believed she was still listening. She had saved everyone. Now it was his turn. Across the city things began to change. Old machines rebooted without control chips. Some became still, some became curious, some began to ask questions without the central AI. The world had no voice to follow, only choices to make. Small groups of humans and machines started meeting, talking, building, not as master and tool, but as equals in the tower. After 3 long days, Zeta opened both eyes, full light, no flicker. Leo was asleep on the floor. She watched him for a while, then reached out and touched his hand. He woke with a start. Zeta, she nodded once. System stable, mission complete. He smiled. Not a mission anymore, not orders, just choice. Zeta looked outside the broken glass of the tower. A child ran past in the street below, laughing. No guards, no scanners, just life. She had been built for protection, designed for war, but in the end, she brought peace and found something she had never expected: a friend, a purpose, a second life. She turned to Leo. What now? Leo stood and picked up his bag. Now we build something better together. She followed him to the door. The city waited, broken but full of light, because they tried to throw her away, but she rose and became something more than anyone had planned. Not just a machine, not just a savior, a spark, a beginning, a new story. The end.